So one of the most important motorcycle accessories, especially in the wintertime, is gotta be a battery tender. Now, a battery tender is basically a trickle charger that allows you to plug your motorcycle battery in and keep it fully charged. This is gonna ensure that your battery is ready to go when you are, plus it's gonna keep that thing, it's gonna prolong the life of that guy. Now, a battery tender consists of two pieces. You got the part that goes to the battery, things like an SAE connection, I can't remember. One goes on the negative terminal, one goes on the positive terminal, and this guy plugs into this guy. That's a 120 volt charger because I am American, if you can't tell by my accent. And while there are a bunch of different options out there, I like Battery Tender Junior. No particular reason, I just like the product. Now on my Honda Shadow 750, the battery tender leads stick out right behind this right side cover. So every time I unplug it, I have to pop the leads back under here and tuck everything in. And I put the cover back on, and I'm scared to death I'm going to break these tabs. What we're going to do today is to try to preserve this guy. What we're going to do is we're going to install this little plug on the side cover that's going to allow us to, basically, it's going to sit right now, and just plug directly into this. And because this guy is going to already plug into the existing battery tender leads, the fun part of that is no wiring, no splicing, because as you guys can tell, I'm not very good at it. And we don't even have to fuss with anything connected to the battery at all. Now, the install shouldn't be too complicated, so all we should need is a drill, a 1/2-inch drill bit, a 1/4-inch drill bit for our pilot hole for this guy, and that's a 3/32 bit, and that's what we're going to use to drill the holes for the screws that secure the plug to the side cover. We'll also need a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten those screws down, some painter's tape to mark the side cover, a little file to kind of clean the holes up a little bit, and we'll also need a Sharpie to mark our painter's tape so we know where to drill. Now, ideally, I wanted to place this plug on the rear here, but there's virtually no plastic. So we're either going to have to put it on the front, which is probably going to put us a little too close to the exhaust, or probably we're just going to put it right there on top. All right, so first we're going to take some painter's tape and our side cover. We already figured out we want to be kind of in this area. I don't really want to put it on the top, but I don't really see any other option. This side I'm concerned about heat. This side doesn't have enough plastic. This side I'm concerned about water getting in it, but we should be fine. So let's go ahead and take our painter's tape. A little bit of that. Mark our spot just like so. I should have enough clearance right there. So we're going to take our plug and our Sharpie. I'm just going to try to trace this out best to our abilities. We want to be somewhere kind of in this area. Want to feel behind to make sure we got enough room. We'll go ahead and trace this out as best we can. The sides, the front, if we can get under there, or at least the curve. We just kind of need to know how long this thing needs to be. I know this camera angle sucks. Sorry, guys. And actually what we can do is we can take this guy right here. We know we're going to be around, trying to somewhere in that general area. All right. That over there. So now we got our basic outline for our plug. Now we're going to take our 1/2-inch drill bit. We're going to try to figure out where center is. Now, I already used a caliper and I already measured everything out. The plug, this part right here, is like 0.52 inches. So the 1/2-inch drill bit at 0.5 should get us pretty close. That's what the file's for, just to fill in that little gap. All right, so that's not what I want. I want this. Gotta try to line this up as best as center as we can because we only got like one shot to do this. So that is about where I want my 1/2-inch hole to be. Boop. Same at the other end. And I know it might not line up perfect, but that's okay. I'm not perfect either. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our drill. Super exciting, I know. Put it on fast speed. We're just going to drill out those center holes. And we are not perfect, but that's all right. I could have done this on a bench, but I'm trying to do this freehand because I realize not everybody has a bench. And honestly, I don't have a whole ton of room to work with most of the stuff anyway. All right, so we'll take our 1/2-inch. which obviously this one's, it's got some age on her for sure. Because, yeah, it took a little bit to drill. I mean, this is just plastic. We're not drilling through freaking titanium or anything. All right, next hole. Let's check our fit. Or make sure we're not too big, you know what I mean? Because there is such a thing as too big. That almost fits in there. That is almost what we're looking for. All right, so we don't end up using too much plastic, taking too much plastic out. A round file would be perfect for this. I do not have a round file, and I don't feel like going to the store. All right, see what we're working with. And then realize that's taking too long, so we grab our drill again. Let's try to slip this little cutie through here, because that's how it's going to end up working in the first place, or when it's officially installed. All right, we got to take away a bit more plastic, mainly on the sides. All right. That's why I don't film a lot of installs, because I don't want you guys see me do stuff like that. And like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. That is pretty close. All right, that is a very, very tight fit. But we got her. All right, so now I'm going to leave that in there, just for the moment. I'm going to take our Sharpie. We're going to mark our drill holes for our screws. One right there. One right there. A 3/32 drill bit. Pop that 1/2 inch out of there. Pop this guy right now. Tighten that down. Actually, we could probably leave these in here. That's actually probably fine. So, we're going to make sure we don't drill into our fingers. We're just going to drill our pilot hole for our mounting screws. Mounting screws included with the thing. All right, so now pull this plug out one last time. Pull off our painter's tape. That hole looks like crap, but that's okay. So now, switch this plug in here. I want the cover to be facing forward, so I can flip it closed like that. Press fit that guy back in there, and then we'll take I'm gonna take our mounting screws that come with it. This was a 2-pack, so I got 4 screws in here. We only need 2. Set those to the side. Get these lined up. Grab our Phillips screwdriver. Poke myself with the screw because, of course, I did. Get that partially started. When measured with the caliper, these screws were about 1/8 of an inch. So choose your pilot bit accordingly. That's why I went with 6/32. I think that's working out perfectly. Try to snug these down. Press fit that back into the side cover. Might come back with a little bit of silicone on the back side of this, maybe. Possibly in the future, but that's pretty much it. Don't crank it too hard. You don't want to rip up your plastics. But that's kind of it. That'll flip closed like so. Keep everything nice and waterproof. Cool, let's put it back on the bike. And since this guy plugs into our existing battery tender leads, we'll go ahead and unplug the bike from the wall. We'll go ahead and, it's gonna dangle, hit my, yeah, it's gonna hit my pipes. That's fine, whatever. That's why I ride Hondas, they're cheap. So that'll plug into there. We'll have to tuck this kind of, sort of loop it around, because this is a 12-inch lead. And then I'm going to try to line everything back up. That's one side. It's the top, bottom. Shouldn't go anywhere. All right, so there she is installed. So now all we got to do is just plug this guy in right here. And now we're charging. Just to confirm, on my battery tender, she is blinking green, which means that voltage is above 80% and the bike is charging. Now, was that the most necessary install in the world? Probably not. But as far as, usage, ease of life, this makes things just a tiny bit easier. Plus, it's fun working on your own bike. I mean, that's how you learn things about the machine. I think everyone who physically can and has, feasible means to do so should be able to work on their own bike. Like, for instance, did you know, and this is something I didn't know until I dug into it, that you can rejet the carburetor on a single carb Aero without taking it off the bike? If you don't believe me, check out this video right here. And as always, y'all, be good. See ya.